Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, we're going to be checking out some Raids gameplay. So I've had a couple of my Alliance members on this first Kang boss in the middle, which is like the mid-difficulty path, just ramp up and put in their charges. So they've gone in, they've done the mission. You basically need to do like alternate combos against Kang. So like a medium-medium combo, and then like a light ending combo is kind of the quickest way to do it. And then you get charges, you get your raid roll force. There's so much like terminology here, man. It's just like, it's like more confusing to talk about than it is to actually do. But I've got a few revives in overflow. To the best of my knowledge, there isn't like a limit in terms of the amount of items that you can use in this game mode, but it's best to do it and be patient and just claim the free 100% like level 2 raid revival or something, but you can claim like 2 of those every single day. But here we're on the Tactician path. We've got Hulkling, we've got the unique buffs one, and you can see we're not going to deal much damage until we ramp up here. So we go for light ending combo, dodge this, just go for like a double one to end that. I need to find an opening here on Kang. Double intercept there. And because I've started doing missions now, again, we've got the charges, so we're getting like massive damage benefit. And Hulkling, he's just an absolute beast. You know, if you are going to take the left-hand side path, Hulkling is absolutely phenomenal. And if you're going to go for the middle, it looks like Iron Man's probably the best option there. Right-hand side, just from what I've seen so far, like either Storm or Domino, looks amazing. Like, prowess seems to scale up really well. And like high crit as well, which seems absolutely phenomenal. The weakest damage in raids appears to be damage over time, because it doesn't like properly scale up with the amplifying node. So any characters that are like heavily reliant specifically on damage over time for their output appear to be some of the worst champions to bring into this game mode. But again, if you can kind of like skirt through some of the early stuff without having to use your 100% revives, which again is going to be a little bit more difficult. That was the enrage, by the way. Once you deal what is it, 10% of the opponent's health, they just go invulnerable, pretty much insta special 3, and then you're wrecked, and then you've just got to revive and go in again. It doesn't really feel great. It doesn't really allow, especially on some of the later fights, which have a lot more health, a lot of room for like big skill expression there. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. One of my alliance mates, Link, has just gone in, so he's just gone in to tag the Kang here with a Domino. Again, we could have like just revived up and finished that off. It probably would have been a bit more efficient, because again, at this point, when Kang's like quite an easy first fight to do, he's just going to waste like 100% heal on that Domino. So again, that's a bit of a tip for the first bosses. Just keep in mind for the future, you might want to use some of your lesser revives if you're like me and you do have like a few ban overflow. But just checking in the potions tab, again, every single day this is going on for, you can claim 2 of these for free. These are going to give like a revive and a full 100% heal. But again, the more further back you get, the more valuable these are going to be, because the difficulty ramps up substantially, and also the opponents are a lot chunkier. Now, in terms of difficulty, the most difficult fight by far is the left-hand Maestro. You want to send your best players, ideally on the left-hand side. Our alliance is kind of just like going in and winging it. I saw Metal Sonic, dude. You know, the absolute sweatiest tryhard. This man's gone for the easy path, mate. He's on the right-hand side. This is the easiest possible path you can do. You know, you've got like a Maestro of like half health there. He doesn't have any of the threatening nodes. MSD just absolutely straight in there. Disappointed is what I am, man. I wanted him to go for the sweaty Maestro on the left-hand side there. But yeah, this Maestro, dude, is very annoying to deal with. So just something to keep in mind. You want to send like your sweatiest players like left-hand side for that. And again, when you're like picking up the rolls at the beginning, at least to the best of my knowledge so far, and what I've seen, which again is limited, there's lots of champions in this game mode. You know, if you're going left-hand side or have a player with Hulkling, like absolutely amazing there. Middle, it looks like Iron Man is the best for Vanguard, and then like either version of Storm or Domino. I've seen that all 3 of those do really well on the right-hand side. And if you have a backup player as well, which you are going to have, because it takes like 9 to do all of these, you probably want to send that player left-hand side as well. Again, that player, ideally you want to wait toward the end, but you either want to like stack up maybe like another Hulkling on the left-hand side, or a Storm, or a Domino, or an Iron Man, just, you know, something that synergizes really well. It's like a good backup option, maybe covers somebody that is having a little bit more trouble. But as long as you've got, I think it's just like 10 charges overall on the opponent, then you're good. It kind of like scales up the damage, and if you've got the right champions, like you can easily hit, what was it, that 10% damage cap in the time that you do have remaining. So we're gonna go in again, and we have the opportunity here to kill Kang. We're gonna deal just over 6 million, so about 5-6% here. We should be good. I think we got this in the bag. And then we can maybe move on to Maestro and see what that fight looks like with its wonderful pierce nose. Okay, we're gonna go for the lightning combo. You see those like grey charges are building up. So it's like once we get above like 45 of those, then we're gonna get the raid further. Take me special 2. Look at this, literally like everything once we've ramped up for about 100,000 damage. Stay alive, focus on peak performance, and we are absolutely easy clapping here. Oh yeah, the relics also didn't have amplified damage. The relics are good for extension, or maybe getting you out of a bad situation, but just purely for damage, they're not that great. It looks like my other alliance members are very keen, dude. They are absolutely straight on this. We're gonna pick up the Paragon here. We've got like a quarter of that. I'm just like racing to be the first into Maestro here if I can. Okay, so this is like, dude, even in the middle, this guy's like 130 million hit points. And this, I think, scales up with prestige as well, so it gets even beefier. But this one, being the second one, is going to have a ramping fury, but also puncture as well. Dude, I'm going to get wrecked by that. I'm so bad at dodging like Maestro's special one, but here, oh, this one's actually a little bit annoying because you need to like bait out heavy attacks or special attacks and punish them in order to get the charges. So this, like, from the second fight onwards, especially if it's Maestro, you know, it's not really a good fight to use like small revives on. You know, the regular ones aren't really going to cut it, because the only way we can really ramp up here is by like baiting out the specials and dodging them pretty perfectly. You know, it's not really my area of expertise. Okay, I can do that. I can do the special too. But, you know, we revived. We might as well use this. I don't want to, like, use a massive amount of... Okay, there we go. We got that one. Perfect. Okay, so we actually have ramped up a little bit. We got a charge. We got 2 charges. Okay, so this is going to help my teammate. Charges are indicated by the blue one. So if I can just keep on... punish a few more specials... Okay, that was a good dodge there. Not the most ideal way to ramp up, but we are actually cooking a little bit here. Oh my god, dude, I should not have lived through that. That was pure luck. Goal, ideal goal is like if I could get 7 charges, I think is the maximum. Oh, okay, messed up a little bit there, but as you can see, we still kind of got there. Like, you need to be pretty on point with like fighting Maestro, but now I want one of my like alliance mates to go in, because I didn't really have any charges to scale up my damage on that one. So they need to go in and get some charges on. So where we completed all of those ones, we've applied the assault charges to the fight, because we were Tactician, and Tactician applies assault charges. So now these two can utilize those charges in order to gain a bit of a damage bonus, I believe. But again, like there's just so much. There's a lot of reading, man, a lot of keywords. But you just kind of got to take it in turns again. And I think somebody died pretty damn quickly there by the look of it against that Maestro. I would imagine my teammates are kind of at this point where they're like fairly out of revives after the first boss, because again, they were using 100% early on. I think a lot of people are going to do that initially, but maybe in the future, if you want to do it a bit quicker, you know, makes sense early on, assuming you're not fighting Maestro, to maybe use some lower ones. But yeah, we don't really have anything to like deal massive damage, but we might be able to go in with it seems like a good time to maybe use like one of these. I don't really play Alliance Quest that much around. I probably brought these in a bundle, like 10,000 health. You know, it gives me a little bit more to play about with, because the ideal thing you want to do when starting the Maestro fight is you want to bait out the heavy attacks. So ideally you want to block and just kind of punish the heavy. You want to block and punish the heavy. This is synergizing with the Hulkling mode as well. You see, doing that, so taking us down a little bit. Okay, there we go. We're actually starting to cook a fair bit. I do wish I had this Hulkling ascended. Not that it would make like too much of a difference, but it would just be like a really nice. Oh, dude, that Pierce coming in. Dude, that hits so hard. Oh, my God. So, yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed, man. It just feels a little bit lame, you know? Like, they've made this gameplay mode where you can deal, like, 10% maximum. That in itself, like, it feels very unsatisfying. But also, not even being able to get through it, like, properly and just sit down. But having, like, the revives very slowly drip-fed to you as you go, like, toward the back of the raid, where you kind of need the health associated with these revives, because you have stuff like the Thanos mission as well. If he's on second or at the back, you have to like block a hit in order to ramp up as well. So you are going to need to take like a little bit of block damage. So those lower revives aren't really going to cut it. You need like these raid revives really for the final fights. And yeah, you've just got to wait to be like slowly drip fed these. It kind of just like ruins the tempo excitement of this game mode. And it feels a little bit lame, you know. It's also like very confusing to initially learn and understand. And I think having like a very staggered you know, revive release like this, I don't know, just it kills like any fun or enjoyment that would be there, where you can just sit down with your Alliance members and figure it out over like, okay, we've now just got to play tag on like Line or Discord or one of the in-game chats for literally like the next week. And like, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I just want content I can open the game and play. I just want to open the game, I want to play content and have fun. I don't want to be like in this just relationship of like constantly like tagging, you know, Alliance members at like all sorts of times, being like, oh yes, it's Sunday morning, guys, we're up early. Has everybody got their revives? Let's go in for half an hour. It's like, no, I want to sit down, the raid's open. I just want to get through the bosses and you know, enjoy that experience. Because yeah, it's just gonna be a bit of a slow grind, and like I was kind of hoping raids wouldn't be that, and like the mode would be focused on fun and enjoyment, just sitting down and having a good time playing this game. Because I think there's cool stuff you can do with it, but you know, damage cap's too low. I don't like being drip fed the revives, and everything is, you know, very complicated and confusing for a lot of people to learn, and also requiring so much work as well from Alliance officers. Shout out to the Alliance officers, man, having to organize, you know, where people are going, what champions they have that fit the certain roles, etc, etc. So yeah, I don't know, man. Raids, it feels like a bit of a miss in my books. I think there's going to be a lot of feedback over the coming weeks, a lot to learn from. But it does feel cool when you're in the fight and you're ramped up and you got big damage and you're going. It feels kind of lame when the fight just ends because you dealt too much damage. But you know, those are just my thoughts and feelings initially. Again, it's like super early on, but let me know how you guys are finding raids so far in the comment section below. If you did enjoy today's first look, please do smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much for watching, take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.